For years, Jeanine Pirro and her husband were seen as a powerful political couple. But behind the scenes, the marriage was falling apart quickly. Public scandals, lies, and serious legal problems pushed everything into the open. Rumors about cheating, secret children, and prison time followed. What made Judge Jeanine Pirro end her marriage so suddenly? Jeanine Pirro decided she couldn't take it anymore and finally filed for divorce against her husband, Albert Pirro, when their marriage problems became the main topic of every headline. In 2006, during her campaign for New York Attorney General, Jeanine Pirro ended up in a deeply personal controversy that spilled into the public and even became one of the biggest crises of her later political career, as she ran against Democrat Andrew Cuomo. The world found out that she was being investigated after discussing a plan to secretly record her husband, Albert Pirro, because she thought he was having an affair. The issue was first exposed when transcripts of conversations between Pirro and the former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik were leaked to the press. In the recordings, Pirro was talking about how she wanted to place a recording device on her husband's yacht and gather evidence of his cheating. She expressed frustration and anger in the recording, showing just how bad the situation had become. Federal authorities were already watching Kerik in a different investigation, only for them to stumble on this shocking scandal. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan confirmed that the inquiry was underway to determine whether Pirro's remarks crossed the legal boundaries. But Pirro publicly denied any wrongdoing and fought back against the investigation, saying they were intruding on her private life and ruining her campaign by making her marriage problems public. She also insisted that she never actually wiretapped her husband's yacht, and so discussing the idea wasn't a crime. She stated that she was simply a target. But it was clear that this controversy was the final straw that broke the camel's back. On the Pirro marriage, by 2007, she and Albert got separated and never came back together until they got a divorce. But this wasn't the only time that troubles entered their marriage. In the 1990s, they were in another major scandal when it was revealed that Albert even had a child outside of their marriage. In the late 1990s, long before her later political controversies, one of the most damaging issues in Jeanine Pirro's marriage was finding out that her husband, Albert Pirro, actually had a child outside of their marriage. The situation first came to public light during a paternity legal case when a Florida woman claimed Albert was the father of her daughter. At first, Albert denied any involvement with the woman and said that the child wasn't his. In a shocking turn of events, a court-ordered DNA test in 1998 confirmed that he was indeed the biological father of the child. The court forced him to acknowledge the child and pay child support for a couple who had maintained a public image as a successful legal and political partnership. Knowing about Albert's cheating was deeply embarrassing, especially since the case was made public. It attracted a lot of attention to her private life. Although the child from the affair was born in the early 1980s, Jeanine and the public found out together. It was revealed when she was just building her reputation as a prosecutor and public figure. So, this was a big blow to her. The scandal revealed a major breach of trust in their marriage and placed Jeanine in a difficult position professionally. She was already gaining recognition for her prosecutorial work and served as Westchester County District Attorney, and when her husband's child from an affair was revealed, it complicated her public image. But Jeanine only said that she didn't know about the child beforehand, and she continued to downplay the scandal and any knowledge about the child. After this happened 2 years later, their marriage saw another major scandal when her then husband found himself on the wrong side of the law and even landed in prison. In 2000, Albert Pirro's conviction for federal tax fraud and conspiracy became one of the most significant legal scandals in the long marriage between him and Jeanine Pirro, straining their personal relationship and public career. Albert, a well-known New York lawyer and real estate figure, was indicted in 1999. After a broad federal investigation revealed that he had actually improperly claimed more than $1.2 million in personal expenses as business deductions on his tax returns over nearly a decade. These deductions included expensive items such as luxury vehicles, vacation homes, artwork, and other non-business expenses that prosecutors said had no legitimate place as deductible business costs. It was an illegal attempt for him to reduce his tax burden. The trial drew extensive media attention, not only because he cheated over $1 million, but also because at that time, Jeanine was serving as the district attorney of Westchester County. She was known as one of the top law enforcement officials while her husband was committing crimes. Jeanine was never charged with any crime, but she had co-signed the couple's joint tax returns, and there were a lot of rumors about her level of awareness and involvement. Many suspected that she was secretly involved, although she constantly defended herself and said she had no idea what her husband was doing. In June 2000, a federal jury convicted Albert on multiple counts of conspiracy to defraud the United States and tax evasion. Among other charges, he was sentenced to 29 months in federal prison. Although his sentence was later reduced for good behavior and participation in a treatment program, he ended up serving 11 months and was released in late 2001. But there's no doubt that this case and prison stint was one of the reasons why Jeanine and Albert eventually separated in 2007 and later divorced. It really embarrassed and undermined Jeanine in public and strained their marriage. Years later, long after the prison sentence and the end of their marriage, Albert received a full pardon from President Donald Trump, which was one of the final acts of Trump's presidency. All of these factors built up, leading to major media attention that affected Jeanine's career and made her even more fed up with their marriage. In the years surrounding Jeanine and Albert Pirro's eventual split, her personal struggles became highly public and also intertwined with both of their careers. It placed a lot of pressure on their marriage and also tarnished her reputation in the public eye. The obvious example was when Jeanine was running for New York Attorney General in 2006, and it was revealed that her husband was cheating on her. She already knew about it and was even planning to spy on him and get evidence before the divorce. Even earlier, Albert's own comments and interviews added fuel to the media fire. In a 2006 interview, Albert openly criticized the toll that Jeanine's demanding career and campaigning schedule had taken on their family life. He said that he wished he had more attention at home, and it was that lack of emotional connection that caused him to start dating people outside their marriage.